Welcome back, everybody, to This Is My Bourbon Podcast. It's another episode, another week, and I am still Perry, and still with me is Eric, the Whiskey Mutant.
Yeah, a little too, Eric. A little too mutant.
Well, yeah.
A little too Raph.
Oh, goodness gracious. How are you, buddy?
I'm good.
Good, man.
It's nice to be here. It's been a long week. I'm finally off work for the week.
Are you not working tonight?
No.
Oh.
But I have volleyball tomorrow.
Dang it.
But I don't have to go anywhere tonight.
I've got a tour tomorrow, so.
Where are you going tomorrow? Or where are you taking people tomorrow?
We're going to like 4 different places tomorrow.
All around the world. Yeah.
Which brings up a good point. If you would like to come to Kentucky and do a bourbon tour, you can head to distilledexperiences.com. You can book it there. And I will be...
Can they request you?
Oh, I mean, they can. It's not really going to make much of a difference because I'm kind of the only person who does the who does the tours anymore.
I am your tour guide, the Pear Bear.
I said this in our group chat, but I had one on Monday, and I leaned back. I was introducing myself. Hey, everybody, I'm Perry. I'm going to be your tour bus driver for the day. And I heard in the back there was a guy who went, a tour bus driver? Perry, the tour bus driver. It got me so good.
That guy has watched Phineas and Ferb.
Oh, and he came up later and he was like, "Can you use the turn up the voluminator on the music?" I was like, "All right, dude."
All right, now we're getting a little weird.
We're done here.
Will you call me Dr.
Doofenshmirtz?
Doofenshmirtz
Evil Incorporated. Hey, if you're new to the show and you have not yet, please subscribe. If you are returning, hope you're well. Thank you so much for being back. If you have not yet left a 5-star rating and review, please do so. It helps us out so dang much. It pulls us up more and more in the iTunes search algorithm thingy. People just want to check us out and see that we're getting good.
Feed the algorithm.
Feed the algorithm, dadgummit. Also, I started putting in the feed as of last week the audio version of the live streams that I do on Thursday nights on YouTube. So if you don't know that I go live every Thursday at 8 p.m. on YouTube, now you do. And at the very least, you can check out the audio of it. But if you want the visual component, you can also head over to YouTube and check that out. And also, support us on Patreon.
Do it.
Patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast for as little as $1 a month, as little as $5 a month, gets you bonus content. Are we starting off with Flying Blind this week?
What do you want to do? Because I came prepared with both.
Let's do Flying Blind this week.
Flying Blind. Okay,
Yeah.
You close your eyes and hand me a glass.
Hold on. I have turned away from Eric.
No taking.
I guess I could have done some more plugs right now, but
Won't take me a second.
didn't even think about it. It was a nice cork pop.
Yeah. Pour you a little bit, and then I'm going to pour myself a little bit.
I'll wait until you're done pouring to turn back. I don't want to ruin the surprise.
Nobody likes a surprise that's ruined.
Nobody likes surprises.
Everybody's just boring. Here you go.
I like surprises. Thank you.
All right, Flying Blind.
Is this another Willet?
No Willet for a while. Oh, it smells good.
I like that nose a lot.
It smells good.
All right, based on the nose.
Oh, a little preparation here.
Because I've got, all right, so
You're in the mode.
I'm in the mode for Matt Madness, which as of recording,
We don't know what's... Well, you'll find out, but you don't know what's happening.
I don't know what's going to happen, but I am competing tonight as of recording. So you will know by the time this episode comes out what those results will be.
And if all the training paid off.
I'm really nervous. I just want to do well this year.
You're going to do fine.
I want to get to the finals.
You're going to get the belt.
I want the belt. I want to beat Grease. I want to prove my worthiness. I want to prove my palate. I want to show everybody that I came to play and I came to win. And dadgummit, I'm going to win this year.
Do it. You got this.
I am going to win this year.
Let's go!
I have never been this psyched about anything.
My family,
I have a child,
my child.
and I have never been this psyched about anything.
This is all that matters.
This is the only thing in life that I have worth living for. No, that's not true at all. Oh, that's really good. I was going to say based on the nose, it was either a high rye bourbon or a rye whiskey. I think this is a rye.
Okay.
Is it Willet rye?
No. No Willets.
Is it a rye?
I gotta take a break from getting trashed for my Willets.
I'm sorry, dude.
No, it's not a rye.
Is it a high rye bourbon?
I can't remember. Like, once you see what it is, you'll be able to tell me
okay.
more.
Sure.
I can't remember the mash bill exactly.
I mean, it drinks like a high rye bourbon. It's got a lot of spice. It's got that like spearminty-ness to it as well.
I love the nose. Guess the proof.
110.
Close. It's 53.3%. So what? 106 points.
That's 107.
107.
Yeah.
So you're close.
I actually was I was pretty close to guessing 107.
The age.
7 years old.
Close. I'll give you the +2 because it's 9.
There we go.
9 and some months.
Okay. What is this?
So based on that, 9 and some months, I can't tell you exactly what the mash bill is because I need your help.
107.
And it's 107 proof. Is there anything that would...
I can't think. The only thing I can think of is Antique 107, but that's...
No.
Isn't there a...
You gotta think
Isn't
this
like
is
pure
it's a single barrel, so it's just... That's the proof that you got. Like, it's not the standard proof.
At 9 years?
Yeah. And I can't tell it, and I know a lot of mash bills, and I can't remember what this mash bill is.
I'm completely blanking on what this could be. Wow.
It's a Four Roses OBSO. So I couldn't remember which one that is.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, I knew
Nashville.
that's your favorite,
Yeah.
but I didn't know if that was like
That's
the one.
high rye. Yeah, 35%.
9 years, 10 months, total wine. Picked in, well, I don't know if it's picked in November, but it's November 2021. 53.3%. Warehouse PN, and it's
Give me that
tier 1.
Give me that tier information.
I think. Was it one L there means tier 1?
I don't know.
I think so. Something like that.
I genuinely do not know all of the...
I know there was one tier
tier
5
stuff.
or something that everybody goes crazy about. I can't remember.
It's a little hot, but it's good. I haven't had an OBSO in a hot minute, but this is... I like it.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's that low of proof.
Right? Yeah, barely over 100.
Yeah. Anyway. Thanks for that. That was a good one.
Yeah, dude. I'll save the sips and snacks for next week.
Works for me. You should not save, though, what it is that you've been drinking recently.
Oh.
So I got to know.
So
What have you been drinking recently?
So probably the best thing I've had the past couple of days was we got home from St. Louis. I'd packed some, I had some 101, and I think I had some Jack Daniel's barrel proof and stuff I'd packed at the hotel. But I got home that night. Everybody was asleep. I was tired from the drive, and I pulled out a sample that I had been given recently, and it was marvelous. This was the Boone County that was on Chad and Sarah's It's Bourbon Nights bourbon bowl. After it was over, Chad was like, "Do you want a sample of something?" I was like, "I really want that Boone County
12-year
MGP. Oh my goodness, dude. It is so good.
I've been over to their house so many times. I don't think I've ever had that.
I think they just recently opened it for this.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And that was the one. So if you go back and watch the Bourbon Bowl, like Perry was supposed to ref. Perry was in quarantine.
I was not sick.
He was in quarantine.
My wife was sick.
He was on house arrest.
I had my
he had an
bracelet.
ankle bracelet on. So I filled in. And
also known as an anklet.
Anklet. And I got to pick from the list that they had kind of dwindled down. Each of them had their thing. And so the last round that I made was the MVP round. And there's a lot of stuff in there that could have been in the MVP round.
Yeah.
I mean, there was like Four Roses LE. There was like vintage, like freaking like that old granddad and like all this stuff. And I was like, what is the MVP to me in these? Like, if I'm the referee, I'm going to be handing out the MVP trophy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or I feel like that I would be. And I was like, I got to put like 2 hitters against each other. So I was like, 2 single barrels on the list. There's Russell's 13. And then there's this Boone County that's 12-year-old MGP, like distillery only.
Yeah.
And I was like, that has to be amazing. Because I love some 12, 13-year-old MGP.
The last Boone County pick that I had that was in double digits, Dustin brought in. And it was like 13 years old. And it was always like really hyper oaky, like way, way too oaky. And I think finally, like the last couple of times that I've had it, it's opened up finally. But I've also grown to like oakier products the longer that I've been drinking bourbon.
Dude, so it's the Boone County 1833 12-year distillery only single barrel. And it's like 112 something proof.
Wow, that's it?
Yeah.
Man.
Something, yeah, I think so. It was really close to the 114 that the Russell's 13. I was like, that's it right there.
Yeah.
13-year-old Russell's single barrel, almost the same proof. 12-year-old MGP single barrel, almost the same proof. And that one, they ended up picking that one at the end. And
over the Russells.
Yeah. But I have a sample of it, and I poured about half of it, and I just sat there in the dark in the living room, total silence, and I just enjoyed the heck out of that freaking sample.
That sounds so nice.
Yeah. This was after a 5.5-hour drive with the boys.
Oh.
Eli, my son, was trying to learn how to pee in a cup because he had to pee so bad. It did not end well.
Did it go all over the car?
Some of it, yes.
Oh, dude.
Yes. It was a long drive.
You know, when stuff like that, when you tell me about stuff like that, my first reaction is always, poor Addison. Like, I always feel the worst for her.
Well, the good thing was she wasn't in the car because we had to drive separate. So April and Addison were behind us in the car, which was probably a lot more peaceful than what was in my car.
I'm 100% sure it was. How much pee made it into the cup?
Okay, we're talking like a medium Chick-fil-A cup, right? Mm-hmm. And the total amount probably equaled about half of the cup, and there was about a quarter of actual pee in the cup.
That's so much that he didn't make it.
This was 2.5 hours still left to get home. We're like not even to like
so it smelled
Louisville
so
yet.
It smelled like pee for 2.5 hours.
Basically.
How did he get rid of it? Did he like dump it out the window?
I did. I just chucked it. I didn't even care. Semis behind us probably got piss all over their windows. I was just fucking done. Man, I was just done.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I really don't blame you.
But yeah, I got home, got everybody settled, got the stuff out of the car, and I just sat there and I said, I got to have something good. And I poured about half of the sample that Chad let me have. And I just sat there and enjoyed that in the dark with nothing going on. And it was amazing.
I've started to accept that there are going to be nights where it's okay if everybody's already asleep for me to just retreat for a little while. And like I've been playing Pokemon Arceus like crazy. Arceus? What have I been saying? I've been saying Arceus I've been saying Arceus. But like it's limited to when I have downtime, of course. And more I'm like, I could just Everybody's asleep. Nobody's going to miss me for like an hour and a half.
Sometimes it's better because like April like punches me sometimes if I try to like sneak in the bed, like everybody's asleep and she's like, "Why'd you get in the bed? I was totally asleep." I was like, "Oh shit, okay, I'm going back." So now I'm just like, you know
See
what?
ya.
I'm
I'll
gonna
just sleep on the couch tonight.
I usually like just hang out on the couch until I know she's really good in the sleep. If we don't, fall asleep at the same time.
Yeah.
And because I don't want to endure the wrath of waking her up when she's just fell asleep.
I am very fortunate that Lucy can sleep through a hurricane. And not just that. If it wakes her up, she is immediately back asleep within about 2 minutes. So
Lucky.
she has what her family calls the Bellamy curse, where they can just sleep whenever they want to. So anyway, that was a way tangent.
The Bellamy curse sounds like something from Castlevania.
Doesn't it just though?
Castlevania 7, The Curse of Bellamy.
Let's see. I did Matt Madness training last night.
Yeah.
One of the things that was on there was that that Bardstown Bourbon Company Honey Ale finished bourbon. Holy crap, that was so good.
11-year MGP finished in Goodwood Honey Ale cask.
Ridiculous. I'm still salty that I got everything right about the Russells, except for the proof and saying that it was a single barrel instead of the small batch.
I had to throw in some random question that was just like, "Are you kidding me right now?" Like,
I think that I got tricked on Russell's small batch last year well. I think in the semifinals against.
I couldn't remember. All I knew was I'm not putting Old Forester 1910 in there. Like that was too much of a gimme.
I knew that one was finished though.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no way that it wasn't finished. So, I'm pretty good.
It's good.
I'm pretty good at this stuff.
You got the. I set the goal as 8 and above is winning, and 7 and below is losing, and you got 8.
Yeah. I also mixed up a couple of fresh batches of my Infinity bottles.
I just tried them.
Eric tried the Russells, and he tried an old blend that I had from a Rarebird 101 meetup. But the one I'm most excited about is the Elijah Craig barrel proof Infinity bottle.
It's so dark.
It's really, really dark.
I'm looking at it from across the table right now.
It's sitting like basically up against my Switch, which is white. The dock is white.
Oh, yeah.
And it still looks really, really dark. I can't wait to try it, dude.
It looks so dark.
Part of me wants to get like a mini barrel and
that would be nice.
Do a batch of that and throw it in one of those too. But anyway.
I don't think you're patient enough to wait for a
I'm definitely not.
No,
I gotta have some Elijah Craig barrel proof in my life. I gotta have some of it. All right, so this week we're bringing back the news for the first time in like a year, I think. Back by popular demand, I would say. People were asking if it was ever going to come back, and finally I was like, you know what? We may as well.
Why not?
It's time to bring it back. So here's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, you're gonna have to walk me through this because I've only listened to the news. I've never done the news before.
Well, I'm gonna throw a wrench into our plans. I'm gonna say that we basically got 3 different sections of news, right? We've got like stories, we've got releases, and we got the TTB labels.
Right.
So in between each of those, let's do one of our reviews because we've got 3 reviews to get through this week. So after
news and reviews, okay.
After that's the name of the episode then. Yeah. So after the stories,
okay,
we'll do either the Barrel Bourbon or the Larceny.
Okay.
After the releases, we'll do whichever one we didn't do before. And then after all the TTB labels, we'll do the Barrel Seagrass.
Okay.
So, sweet. Glad you were on board with that.
Yes.
Let's start off by talking about Buffalo Trace, because it's Buffalo Trace.
I mean, we got to talk about them.
Well, always have to. So this is news from back in January, so we're all kind of playing a little bit of catch up with a few things. I apologize for that. By next week, we'll have some more pertinent and relevant news.
I like this opening line they put in this thing.
But they are saying that Buffalo Trace has exceeded their pre-pandemic visitation tourism records. And I do like that too. This is from our buddies over at the Bourbon Review, gobourbon.com. The surprises and good vibes just keep rolling along in bourbon country. So they said that they set an all-time record in 2021 for distillery visits as over 340,000 guests walked the grounds of Buffalo Trace, and that is a 160% increase of visits versus 2020, and 16% up from 2019. So that's incredible.
Can I ask a question about this though?
Sure, yeah.
Is that who actually like bought a? Do we know if that's who bought like a tour ticket, or is that just somebody who showed up and was in line to get some Blantons? Like that's like legitimate. Like, How do you think they?
I am assuming that it's based on
like purchases or something, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
It would make sense that it would be for like people who bought tickets for tours.
True. That's probably how they kept up with it.
Yeah. But I mean, still, like, that's nothing to shake a stick at.
Oh, no.
That's basically the entire city of Lexington.
Right.
All went on a tour at Buffalo Trace in 2021.
Listen, people can say what they want about Buffalo Trace, but as far as like a distillery that's just like show up and just walk the grounds,
yep,
it's hard to beat it because it's almost like you can't just roam around sneak into a rick house, which I mean you could maybe get caught, but
let's say this: we're not encouraging it or condoning it,
right?
But we're also not condemning it,
right? But they have so much stuff. Like they have big fields, they have like parks and like all this stuff. Like I've literally took my kids to an Easter egg hunt at Buffalo Trace before.
Yeah.
It's just such a nice place. You could just go park and just walk, not even buy a tour ticket, not even buy anything at the gift shop, and just have a good time. Smells like bourbon, and it's just a nice place to go walk.
You can take a little flask of something.
Yeah, you can take some Blantons in your flask.
Yeah, exactly. I think that one of the reasons I wanted to bring this up is this is just such a good indication that things are finally trending in the right direction after a crazy couple of years.
Yeah.
I mean, just the fact that this many people felt safe enough or whatever.
Well, look, there for a while, nobody was even doing a tour, period.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff was shut down completely.
I mean, I
yeah.
All of 2020, I didn't have, well, I mean, after like March, I didn't have a tour. I had maybe one or two like transportation gigs. But otherwise, I mean, it was completely dead. So this is good. This is really, really good news for the bourbon industry, I would say. So this next thing, there's a couple, like these two things kind of go hand in hand. And it's something that we've been talking about for the past couple of weeks. We talked about it on the pregame chats last week as well for Patreon. Patreon.com/MyBourbonPodcast. There is this notion that's kind of going around that we might see the end of single barrel picks in Kentucky.
God.
And this was all kind of brought up by Mark Gillespie of the Whiskey Cast, whom, by the way, if that show did not exist, shows like TIMBP wouldn't exist. So, thank you, Mark. I just want to say. So there is on Go Bourbon, a few things that they kind of lay out, talking about how it could indeed be in trouble. There are no distinct laws for private barrel selections. The same laws apply to it as any sightseeing distillery visitor. Each visitor is permitted 1.75 ounces to taste, and private barrel selections may exceed this, allegedly. Winky face. Each visitor can purchase up to 9 liters or 12 750s of alcohol per visit. A barrel can yield 200 plus bottles. And conflict with Kentucky's 3-tier system also kind of lends itself to a lot of this. So the 3-tier system starts with the producer, goes to the wholesale distributor, then it goes to the retailer. And that's how you're able to purchase it. it does look like there is a good chance that this could become an issue.
This is dumb. Like, who set out to do that, though? Like, what? I mean, how did that even become a thing? Did somebody just find some old law and they were like, you know what?
Kind of feels like
I
it.
hate single barrels, and I'm taking them down.
Yeah.
Somebody's got pissed off, and they're mad, and they're just trying to hurt the things we love.
So here's the good news, though. There have been a couple of pieces of legislation that have been brought forth to potentially allow for single barrel selections to continue. The first one was Senate Bill 160, which was brought to Kentucky, and it would amend the law that defines consumer and private barrel selections. It would redefine that just to allow for those purchases to continue. It would amend another law that would authorize a manufacturer to ship samples to persons or entities engaged in private selection events, and would indicate that the shipped sample quantity limits apply to each separate recipient. A third law to allow a distiller to conduct private selection events and sell private selection packages at retail. A fourth to exempt most private selection package sales from the wholesale tax, and a fifth to exclude a distiller selling private selection packages from the interlocking interest prohibition. Basically, it's just trying to work towards allowing the distillery to more comfortably sell single barrels and allow the picking process to continue.
I like the Bill 500.
Oh, House Bill 500, yeah. It would set, according to Go Bourbon, would set specific parameters in defining private barrel events or the act of private barrel selecting and participants within it. But as you can see below, as they say, there are additional objectives. So it's kind of going into like how you would be able to have selection events within like festivals and events. You could also sell some of these products as well in particular settings.
And it says you could have like an off-site tasting room. Like they could just make a little spot over there and you could do your tasting in there.
But here's the thing. It is good that both of these things are on the floor. But it doesn't mean that they are going to pass.
True.
So, in short, private barrels could go away. We could really see the end of single barrels.
Somebody get this man some Pappy or something. Whoever brought this up.
Take this guy on a single barrel pick.
Somebody get him that on a pick at Willett or something, and just like let him go to town.
Show him how much fun it actually is.
Yeah.
And I mean, it is just a crucial thing to the current state of bourbon. I mean, we can't ignore it. We don't want this to go away.
No. It's my favorite thing.
What if we have to sacrifice the pick that we're doing for the meetup?
Yeah. I mean...
because this stupid thing happens.
It's so... I don't even like the news, and this is getting me fired up. Jeez.
So anyway, stay tuned for that. I'm sure we will have an update on that in the coming weeks. Let's ease our minds a little bit, though.
Okay. I didn't mean I don't like our news.
No.
I'm just saying news in general. Unless I just avoid it. It usually just bums me out.
There's enough bad news going on right now.
But I'm just saying, don't take away my single barrels,
please. It's the one good thing I have left.
Please.
So I am also going to propose that with these reviews, since we do have 3 of them to do, we try to limit them to about 5 or 10 minutes.
Okay.
So, kind of like first impressions with like nose, palate, finish, and price and the what not. But
kind of like quick. No, we can't use that word. Somebody else uses that word.
So this is Barrell Bourbon Batch 31. 111.2 proof. The youngest product in it is 6 years old, and I believe the oldest is 15 or 16.
That smells really good.
It smells so good. It smells like maple syrup pancakes.
There's so much maple. Oh, it's like maple syrup almost.
Yeah. $90 a bottle, as it typically is. I do still kind of think that Barrell is a little bit overpriced based on what goes into it, but I think just the overall quality of what these products are makes it a good investment or a good buy for people.
Is this one? Usually they say like the states that are in them, don't they?
Yeah, it should say it on there. Kentucky, Indiana, and Tennessee.
Oh, there it is. I see it. That smells really good. The finish is straight butter.
Yeah. It turns into more of like French toast than anything.
I won't lie. Up front, I feel like I get a little bit of that Tennessee. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's not.
Slightly,
It's not
yeah.
going to like totally make me not want it, but I get a little bit of that mineral,
Yeah.
kind of corn and mineral. But I could smell this all day. This is your candle. This is your candle pour right
Yeah.
here.
It's a little bit of a light finish, I would say. Not a
Yeah.
whole lot going for it. But some of the like darker notes are kind of sticking around more, which I don't mind at all. But yeah, I like this. I like it quite a bit. I'm going to go ahead and run through nose, palette, finish, and price on my end.
Go for it.
Nose, I'm going to give it 3.5. Really enjoy it. Just kind of wish that there was a little bit extra to bump it through. Palette, I'm going to give it a 2.5. I don't think it's the best one out there, but I do still think it's got a lot going for it. Finish, unfortunately, it's a 1. It's pretty short, not a lot of hug, just not much on this batch. Price, as far as like getting a blend of products that has like 16-year-old bourbon in it,
Yeah.
I mean, for $90, that's not a bad price at all. I'm going to give it a 4.
Okay.
That's where I typically kind of land with Barrell products. So that rounds me out at 11 out of 20.
Okay. I'm actually going to go 4 on the nose because
Okay.
I could smell this all day. And I almost always compare these Barrell products to, I have a bottle of batch 18. That's super good. And I'm like, it's got to live up to that. So 4 on the nose just because it's a candle. It smells like maple syrup all day. Palate, I'm going to go with a 2. I don't think they... And this is just me. I don't prefer the Dickel notes as much as some people might. So I don't think that stuff got blended out as much. I'm not getting as much as the MGP on the palate as I do the Dickel. So 2. And then finish. I actually kind of like the finish. It's not long. It's not heavy. But there's this like kind of melted butter note that really sets it apart. Doesn't last very long, but it's there. So I give it a 3 on the finish. And then price.
It's not the first thing I would reach for, but I do think that like what goes into it, the $90 can be justified.
I'm going to say a 2.5.
Okay.
I think we're the same, aren't we?
Are we both at 11?
I'm 11.5.
I was 11.
I think I gave where my nose and stuff went up. But
Yeah.
I mean, I get the price because there's a lot of good stuff in it. It takes a lot of work to make something like this drinkable and worthy to put in a bottle. I just wish it was just, I don't know, even like just like $15 cheaper.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I could get that.
Yeah.
I could totally get behind that, but I don't know. I like the fact that there's all this older product that goes into it. So I'm going to keep sipping on that while we move on to the
save some, too.
releases as well.
I really like the finish, the butter.
So this came out last month, the Rabbit Hole Distillery series, Starlino. It's a straight rye finished in, what is it? Italy's Hotel Starlino Rosso. It's a vermouth. They finished it in vermouth casks.
Vermouth.
I am not a big vermouth guy, But I really want to try this. I'm bummed that I didn't get to go up to Rabbit Hole when they dropped it. But I mean, it's only $50 for a 375. I mean, that's what we were paying basically for the Whiskey Barons collection from Turkey. Mm-hmm. So I don't have any problem with that, especially considering it's a 95.5 rye.
Classic. So good.
Non-age stated 105.6 proof. Not bad. Cream of Kentucky also has a straight rye that is out. Clifton did a really good review of this on his channel. 6 years old, 100 proof, $70. Also limited. Only 70 barrels of the rye were made. Not having a whole lot of success with Cream of Kentucky in the past, I would be a little bit leery about getting this, but
I think I've only had like one at like a tasting or something like that, and it didn't make me want to go find a bottle.
Yeah, but I mean, I still, it's another one of those things where I'm like, oh, I would like to try it.
Right.
This next one, I'm really interested in. I'm really curious about this one. Puncher's Chance, the distance, but distance is spelled D12TANCE because it is a 12-year-old Tennessee straight bourbon whiskey at 96 proof, and it's finished in Cabernet Sauvignon barrels.
Sauvignon.
Cab Sav.
Cab Sav.
It is limited. High corn, 84% corn, 8% rye, 8% malt. 12 years old and finished in those Cab Sav barrels. Thing that, and I mean, as if we're talking about like appropriate pricing, it is $120. Yeah. But it is still, I mean, it's that 10 years per, or $10 per year.
True.
So,
I mean, I think
10 years per dollar.
It's hard. Oh man, it's not unfair. It's almost unfair to Dickel. Because I'm like, yeah, I agree with that pricing, but not for Dickel. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, but there's a chance that it isn't Dickel.
Oh.
Because there's Tennessee Distillers as well, and they're separate from
I guess I was just
Dickel.
Immediately thinking it was...
Oh, no. I think that you're completely right.
Yeah.
You're completely justified in assuming it was Dickel. But I'm betting that it's Tennessee Distillers. However, I could be wrong.
Well, that's not fair to them either.
It's not. Buzzard's Roost. Yeah, Buzzard's Roost. I almost said roast. Buzzard's Roost has a toasted French oak bourbon coming out. MGP. When are we going to start calling MGP Ross and Squibb?
I'm never going to.
I don't think I am either. RNS.
I'm gonna go even backwards in time. I'm just gonna start saying like Seagrams or something like that.
You do the opposite of what they're trying to tell you to do. So this is a 5-year-old MGP 105 proof. Yes, 105, $85. Available now, it looks like. And same thing that they did with their toasted bourbon that came out last year. Taking MGP and finishing it in toasted barrels. Bourbon's mash bill is 74% corn, 21% rye, and 5% malted barley, and only 5 barrels were produced.
Wow.
Ain't much. I'm interested in trying it. I really like the bourbon that they came out with last year.
Oh, yeah, we tried that. We had that, didn't we?
Yeah. I don't know where it is right now. I think it's on the bar at the moment. But it's good stuff.
It was.
Oh boy, here we go. Kentucky Owl. It's got a St. Patrick's Day bourbon coming out. It's a blend of Kentucky straight bourbons aged 4 to 11 years, 100 proof, and 135 buckaroos.
Boy. You know, I like crazy colors. But man, that bottle just like...
It's ugly.
Oh my gosh, it's just like bright and in your face, and you're like, I don't want to be around that thing. I'd love to try it, but I'm just not going to buy it to try it.
I think we are going to be able to try it.
As long as we can get a sample, I'm down for it. Now, it was blended by... who was it?
It was John Rea, who was the former Four Roses guy. He came on last year.
And what's the Irish whiskey part of it?
Oh.
That's what I'm
Kentucky
saying.
Owl says this whiskey was blended through Irish eyes.
Like somebody in the Irish whiskey scene blended
Oh,
this.
okay. Yeah. Whiskey Advocate says what this means is that Rhea tapped Ireland whiskey bonder par excellence. I don't know. Louise McGuane as his partner for this collaboration. The two blenders aimed for accents with a more fruit-forward Irish whiskey style that appeals to McGuane's sensibility while still hewing to the Kentucky Owl bourbon profile. After tasting through a wide selection of samples, the result was this blend of Kentucky straight bourbons aged 4 to 11 years.
Okay.
We'll see.
And I'm not an Irish whiskey fan either, so this just doesn't hit any notes that makes me want to try it.
No.
But I will try it.
But I do want to try it, yeah. We reviewed this next one, actually, a couple weeks ago. Penelope American Light Whiskey.
Oh, yeah.
Founders Reserve. 13 years old.
That's good.
134 proof, I think
the sample we had was 134.
$80. We gave it a recommend.
Yes. We might be getting a bottle.
What?
Yeah.
That's so exciting. That is awesome. Great
so
news. Woodford Reserve Double Oak.
That's already went and gone, hasn't it?
Yeah. 90.4 proof. $50 for a 375. Got to be honest with you guys. It's one of the few releases that come out yearly that I just don't care about. I don't think it's very good whiskey. I think people way overhype it. I talked about this with Clifton on an episode last year. Not a fan. Whatever.
Anyway. I wish they would just do more barrel strength stuff.
I do too. That's where they really shine.
Yeah.
And then the last but not least in our releases, I.W. Harper Cabernet Cask Reserve. This is, of course, a bourbon from Kentucky. It's 4 years old and 90 proof.
What?
And $50. Widely available.
Wow.
This 4-year-old Kentucky straight bourbon is aged in new charred American oak before, finished in Cabernet Sauvignon casks from California, and bottled at Stitzel Weller. This expression joins the I.W. Harper lineup that includes its straight bourbon and 15-year-old straight bourbon.
Lots of words there.
Lots of caveats
to make you,
yeah.
Make you get on board with this one.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I genuinely would like to try it, but I'm not paying $50 for a 4-year-old bourbon.
Yeah, I mean, and it's almost like you just feel like the finish is just trying to hide some of those, that younger product stuff.
Absolutely.
Especially and at 90 proof.
Yeah, I'm good.
No.
All right, review number 2. Larceny Barrel Proof A122, 124.4 proof. I believe that they are still sticking with the 6 to 8 years old on this one.
Has there been... I forgot to go back through the reviews of Larceny when we were talking about this, but has there been one that you were like, yeah, this is legit? Like, I feel like...
The only one that I have really liked out of them all was C921.
I agree. I was getting ready to say, I absolutely agree. I think that's the only one that's really made me be like, this is a good limited barrel-proof weeder.
I will say, though, we have both. We pulled the Fred Minnick, and we both tried this before we actually reviewed it.
We did.
And you might be in for a surprise, folks.
Granted, it was a quick, I got to run over to Perry's house for a second. Hey, let's try this for a second. We're talking. We're not really like... Okay, I love that nose.
I really like the nose.
That's good.
Right off the bat, it's like a 4.
It's just the classic barrel proof wheated bourbon nose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no way.
It's sweet. It's corny. It's almost like Frosted Flakes.
Yes. So much like frosting. Frosting and strawberry.
Oh, it's so funky.
Yeah, and
It's a weird
the
palate.
palate is way different than the nose. So much different. I expect to have like buttercream icing and on like strawberry like drizzle or something, and it's not anything like that.
I start getting like blueberries and cinnamon.
I was gonna say it turns into baking spices.
Yeah.
Like it's really like going back to smelling and tasting and color. The nose is very like pink and white and like this bright, and then the palate turns into this dark like brown sugar color. Like
Yeah.
lots of kind of maple and maybe maple and like biscuit.
Again, I just wish that the finish were longer.
There's not hardly any finish to be a
No.
barrel proof product. 124.4 proof. That does not finish like 100. I mean, I could grab any one of these Knob Creek picks and at 120 proof, and the finish just would go triple of what this does.
Are there some Knob Creek picks over there I'm missing?
No, I'm just saying. I know I know you have them laying around. I'm just.
Well, not right now. All of them's been condensed into my infinity bottle.
Well, you did have them laying.
I did,
around.
yeah.
There were
There were a lot of
usually Knob Creek.
There were a
picks
lot of them
laying
that were
around.
like 2 or 3 ounces. So
I could take a Knob Creek pick, maybe that I don't actually see right now, and the finish would kill it. And I know they're two completely different products, they're different ages and all that. I'm just saying, as far as like a 120 plus product, like there's no finish, it's gone.
yeah, I think that like if we're talking apples to apples, I think that Maker's Cast Strength
Oh, I would have
has
this.
more finish than this does. And I think that's what the problem has been with Larceny Barrel Proof through and through. It strives to be the best barrel proof weeded bourbon on the market. And it just isn't.
There's
For $20 less, you can get Maker's Cast Strength, which is infinitely better
yeah,
than Larceny Barrel Proof is. That being said, this is a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
This finally shows that they are getting things in gear and they are moving towards having a consistent product.
I was gonna say there's even like Weller 107 picks that
Absolutely.
I have that, like
100%.
have a bigger finish than
Yeah.
this, and they're 107 proof.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would definitely. You said what I wanted to say. It's in the right direction, but Maker's Cast Strength I'd still do that.
So, nose, palate, finish, price. I'm going to let you go first since I went first last time.
Nose, man, 4.5. Like, I'd smell it all day. It's like buttercream icing and strawberries. It's so good. Palate, 2.5. It's not. It's almost not like it's a bad palate. It's just so different from the nose that I'm disappointed when I have it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah,
it's like
absolutely.
I want that nose on the palate.
Yep.
Finish, a 1 at the most.
Price at $60.
2. I'd buy this.
I'm not far off from you.
I'd buy this if it was a $30 bottle.
Yeah. Nose for me was a 4. Palate was a 3, echoing a lot of the same things that you were saying. Yeah, finish is just rough. There's just nothing going for it. 1 as well. I like the price on this a little bit better than you do, but I would easily pick up Maker's Cast Strength before I grab this. I'm going to give it a 3 on price. Unfortunately, it's just, until this product becomes more veritable for its value, I can't justify spending that. I really can't. I think that gives me another 11 out of 20. Boy, we are dunking on stuff today.
Yeah, I don't even. What did I give on? Let's see.
You said 4.5,
4.5,
2.5,
2.5.
1, and
1.
2. I think that's a 10.
Yeah, 10.
Yeah. Sucks.
Yeah.
I just want these products to be better. They should be. They should be amazing. And I don't get it. I cannot understand why these bottles are not just blowing us away.
I don't know. It's just that Larceny. I've only had a few picks of Larceny that were decent at best. Like, I don't even like the regular Larceny, just the off-shelf Larceny.
I like Larceny.
I'm not a big fan of it. I don't know.
I think the longer it's gone on, though, I would prefer Makers.
Yeah.
But that's just me. Speaking of Makers, our first 2 TTB labels are for the wood finishing series from Maker's Mark.
Oh, so we're doing a 1 and a 2 again?
We're doing a 1 and a 2 again. It's the BRT 01 and BRT 02. Not really sure what BRT is going to stand for, because like FAE was fatty acid esters.
Let's see. BRT. Bourbon right there.
Bourbon real tasty. It looks like it's going to be 110 proof, 110.6, excuse me. I don't know if that's going to be the final proof on it. We'll see. At the very least, the O2 has a different proof, so it could be accurate. On the back, it says BRT01 tells a story of the first 3 years of extraction at the top of the warehouse, which experiences large temperature swings. You'll get more barrel extractives with caramel and a hint of... It is, apparently. And a hint of toastiness. BRT02 is all about the final years of reaction. At the bottom, where it's cooler year-round, you'll find darker, heavier characteristics, along with some fruit and chocolate.
Bottom Rick tier?
Why would they both be bottom Rick tier if one of them's for the top?
I'm just...
Come on, Eric. Get it together.
I was looking at the one that said from the bottom.
I know. I'm messing with you.
Still want to know what it means.
I do too. Maybe we'll find out sometime. I'm assuming that this is going to be another one that's like $65, $70 a bottle.
I think that's what they all have been, right?
Yeah, I think so too. But yeah, I'm interested in trying this. We'll see. We'll certainly see.
And we'll blend them together.
We will 100% do that. We might even blend these next 2 together because they are also basically cut from the same cloth, just different ages, and I guess different proofs as well. The first one is a Single Cask Nation Wild Turkey 9-year-old pick, 56.7% ABV. That's about it. Still to matured in Lawrenceburg. Looks to be fairly high on the richness. As is the next one, which is also a Single Cask Nation Wild Turkey product. This single barrel is 12 years old, though, and 59.9%. So that's pretty high. That's almost 120 proof.
Yeah.
That's 0.81. That's 119.8.
That's one of the higher turkey products. Well, it's not a turkey product, but
that's a turkey product.
Yeah.
I'm getting that one.
One of 101 bottles.
Yeah, buddy. Heck yeah.
And this is CNA.
Oh, is it? Oh my gosh, it is.
Oh yeah.
That's
the one right there.
Yeah, we're getting that one.
Let's see, what's the other one?
What is MCB?
MCB.
Must carry bourbon?
Mother
cutting
bay? No.
Baby? No.
What? Is that just a warehouse bee or something like that?
It might be. Bee. I don't know. I really don't know.
Anyway, that 12-year one though.
Yep.
That's caught my attention.
We're definitely going to try to find that. 2 more TTB labels before we get to our final review. This first one is weird. A blend of straight bourbon whiskey, Kentucky Walker. Exactly what everybody wants. A high corn mash bill.
4 years old.
4 years old, 80 proof.
80 proof? Oh my gracious, look at this label. Look at this This deer
It's
has
a deer wearing a hat.
Wearing a hat.
It's wearing a fedora.
Okay, I'm into this.
I want to try this so badly. I want to buy stock in this company.
I was getting ready to just shit all over it, but I saw that deer. Look, they even ripped off like the George T. Stagg label.
They've got. Hold on. Hold the presses. They have my favorite thing in all of bourbon on the back label.
Oh.
Are you ready? While all bourbon is whiskey, not all whiskey is bourbon. It's my favorite thing. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. I'm gonna have to get a bottle of this.
We gotta try that.
We are 100% getting that and reviewing
I'm
it.
getting that deer with the hat tattooed on me right now. Lord.
What do you think his name is?
George. He looks like a George.
He does look like a George. Middle name Trevor.
George
Trevor
Stagg. The long lost stepbrother of George T. Stagg.
He's the junior. He's the Stagg Junior.
That's where Junior went.
That's where Junior went. He went to Kentucky Walker.
He went to start his own thing called Kentucky Walker. It makes so much sense now.
It's giving me a headache is what it's doing.
You know what's funny? So I saw a post on one of the boards, and it was like, here's a stag pick for, how much you want it. But in parentheses, does not say junior. It's Stagg Junior without the junior.
Yeah, I saw one of those too. Rounding out the TTB labels, that's what we're doing right now, is the first American single malt whiskey to come from the James B. Beam Distillery. It's 4 years old. Looks to be 94 proof. Malted barley is their single malt. I am really excited about this. I'm really, really pumped for this product. You haven't had a whole lot of experience with single malts.
Nope. Maybe this is the time.
I think this is going to be how the I don't know.
I know
the seal
saying.
is broken.
Yes. I like this logo too.
I like it
cool.
a lot. Yeah, I think they did a great job with the label. I'm curious to see what the bottle shape is going to look like.
Oh yeah. What they put in a Knob Creek one. I bet it'd be something like
what's funny. Hold on.
Granddad bottle.
What's funny about that though is that they've got like a rounded neck tag. So if it went on like a Knob Creek bottle, it would like flap down on the front and the back, and then be flat on the top sides.
I didn't look at that.
They don't even go through like the effort to remove like the engraved part of it that says Knob Creek, and you can see it poking through the label. God, that would be so funny. That would be hysterical. Okay, our final review for the episode.
You want to hear some snack news?
I would love to hear some snack news.
So Hostess has 2 snacks out.
Oh,
That are currently showing up in 7-Elevens around the nation.
Shame we don't have a 7-Eleven in
I
Lexington.
know, I've been looking. But they are jumbo donuts. So Hostess has the little bitty...
Wait a minute. So they're just regular donuts?
No, wait. Listen. Let me get to it.
I'm just saying.
No, they're bigger versions of them, but they're caffeinated.
What?
They are 2 flavors. They're called Hostess Boost. And one is chocolate mocha, and they are caffeinated. And one is caramel macchiato, and they are jumbo donuts. And they have caffeine in them.
Oh.
Skip the coffee, they say.
Did somebody share that in our group?
I think I did.
Oh, okay. Yeah, those just look like regular donuts, my guy.
Look, yeah, but they got caffeine in them. I mean, you're speaking
to
me,
but this one goes
the guy
to
who doesn't
11.
sleep.
Yeah, that's true.
Breakfast has plenty of classic pairings. Bacon and eggs, bagels and cream cheese, cereal and milk. Still, coffee and donuts maintain a legendary status. But why? Does this duo offer a combination of symbolic flavors? Yes! Or is it simply the ultimate mix of sugar and caffeine? Find out for yourself.
Somebody please bring those to Whiskey Weekend.
I have to have them.
Have I mentioned this on the show? I'm going to stop by the Friday of Whiskey Weekend.
I feel like you talked about it just in like Patreon or something like
Yeah,
that.
I don't remember for sure, but yeah, Eric and I are going to be recording that Friday. And I'm going to see people and people that I love and miss very, very much.
I'm hoping we just have like a random like line of just people that just show up and they're just like on for a few minutes.
Works for me.
We'll put out a invitation.
Gosh. Dropping my phone.
All right. Oh, and on Instagram news,
Yeah.
somebody posted a picture of a bottle. It wasn't sealed, and so everybody was mad. I mean, it was sealed, and everybody said, "It's you drink your bourbon." That's my news.
Well, thanks for your contribution there, Eric. So, our final review of the episode, and because we have made it through all the news and everything, we can take a little bit more time with this
Holy
one.
cow, this is 130.8 proof.
Yes, it is.
My gracious.
16-year-old Barrell Seagrass. Distilled in Canada. It's finished in Martinique rum, Madeira, and apricot brandy casks. Aged in the U.S. and Canada. But yes, 130.82 proof. Did we capture on anything when you tried the original Seagrass and you just took a sip of it and
I think it's just
you
your memory.
Went, "Ugh, I hate it."
You captured it in your memory of me just looking at you going, "Ugh."
I wish I could share that with everybody.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm gonna settle in for this one. That smells.
It smells very tropical.
It smells like a drink that you're like at the beach and you're just like, give me the most beachy drink you have with as much like random stuff. Yeah. Is this finished? It smells like rum.
Well, it is finished in rum. Did you not listen to me?
Sorry.
It's finished in Martinique rum, Madeira, and apricot brandy casks.
Okay. Sorry.
For anybody who missed it the first time.
Yes,
now
okay.
you've got it a second time as well.
Okay.
Do you want to know the price now or once we've tasted it?
Don't tell me.
Okay. I'll wait until we've tasted it.
I want to try to say like I would pay this for it and see if it's anything close to what it is.
Okay.
Oh, dude, I could smell that all day. It is. It's so tropical. It's
It even smells like you're on the beach. I mean, it's got that kind of like...
It's that like fruit punch coconut.
Yeah. Sea saltiness about it as well.
Oh, yeah.
I love the nose.
Yeah, dude, that's kind of like a scent they'd use at like Disney, because Disney uses like you walk into different places and they make things smell different. Like, oh, that smells so good.
Dude.
Oh my gracious, that coconut. This is so much better than that other Seagrass.
It's hot though.
That finish.
It's
still
hot
going.
for 130 proof.
Oh, dude. That coconut finish.
Can I be honest with you? I think this might be one of the best whiskeys I've ever had.
This is one of the most unique whiskeys I've ever had.
I'm not blowing smoke. I'm not trying to put on airs or anything. I think like it meets perfectly between unique and really enjoyable.
Oh, I enjoy it a lot.
And I mean, if I had a bottle of this, it would not last long.
And now fruit punch is coming through.
Yeah.
It's almost like, coconut and fruit punch. Like, that's crazy. That's really crazy.
It's just sitting in my gums. Like it's so hot. The proof is so high that it's just hanging out.
Oh, that's good. I'm so glad that's good. I did not want to.
I knew you were gonna like this.
So
one.
why they call it Seagrass?
I don't know.
Is this should be beach grass. Because the other one tasted like the sea.
This should be dunes.
Yeah.
Barrel dune grass.
Dune grass, something. The other one tasted like you were drinking the sea. This tastes like you made the best beach drink ever and you're sitting on the beach looking at the sea. No, like no joke. Like, oh my gosh, I love that coconut note. I'm not a big coconut person, but I love
I'm not either.
I love the flavor of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I think I mentioned about a Jack Daniel's pick I had that had this coconut on it that was just awesome. And like, this is just coconut fruit punch. Oh, I love this so much.
That finish is
the fact that it's
incredible.
130 proof too. All right, I would pay $150 for this. Oh no. Oh no.
You're about $100 off.
$250?
It's $250.
Oh no. $250? That's a lot. Would I pay it?
Having tried this and liking it as much as I do.
Can we split it?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. I think that this is like perfect for somebody who is looking to have something unique and something really cool on their bar, but they have to split it with somebody else. Yeah. It's not the most ideal, but look, there is a lot of work that goes into blending this product and finishing it. This is a triple finished whiskey.
It's 16 years old.
And it's 16 years old.
130 proof.
I mean, that's that alone.
Man.
That's worth the price of admission. I know.
Man. So unique.
This is what I love about bourbon and rye. It's so transportational. Like it just, that memory that you've got in the back of your head, you get sent there.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Every time.
Yeah, it puts you in a time and a place. Like, it's not just a taste.
Are you writing a song over there?
And it's a time and a place, not just your taste. Barrel Craft Spirits, Seagrass 16.
Just writing a jingle for him. I love it. Joe, hit me up. We need to. We'll record it. So, rating time.
Okay.
Nose, palate, finish, price. Each category is out of 5. Total score out of 20. Or 20, depending on if my voice is going to crack.
20.
20.
20?
You ever realize that you can't imitate a voice cracking very well, like on command?
No, I can't.
It just has to happen naturally.
All right, you go first.
All right. Nose. God. 5.
4.5.
Totally fair. I think this is just, it's just so like perfectly crafted, and it feels like I can just transport myself to where this smells like. And it's so enticing, and the flavors are so good, and it's not harsh. It's not a harsh palate. It's so warm and inviting, and it just makes you want to like relax.
I can't get over how tropical it is.
And it doesn't drink like it's 130 proof. It drinks so easily.
Crushable.
Look. Five.
Damn.
I love this whiskey, dude. I really do. I haven't had anything as much as I have loved this in a long, long time.
All right. Hear me out.
Okay.
3.5.
Okay.
Because I don't know. I would have to be in the mood for this. If that makes sense. If I'm going for a 16-year-old like rye or a bourbon or something,
Okay.
I am not. I have to be like, oh, I need that fruity tropical thing. It tastes amazing. I just don't think that that's something that I could just reach for all the time.
I guess I'm focusing more on like how well crafted this is.
That's me being very picky.
Yeah. I mean, I could maybe bump it down to a 4.
You don't have to though.
But I don't want to, just because I just enjoy this so much, and I'm so bummed that we only have a 200 ml sample of it, because I mean, there's not much of that 200 ml left. Maybe a 10 ml.
Well, that's yours right there.
Maybe 20. I'm not sure.
Keep it for the beach.
Yeah. Oh, heck yeah.
Save that for vacation.
Yes.
And then experience all that surrounding with the pour.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna 100% do it. Finish, I think, is where it drops off just a bit. I like the finish a lot, but it does leave behind a lot of like burning alcohol.
True.
To it. But I still enjoy it. This is where I give it a 3.5.
I'm going with a 3.
Okay.
I think it's a great finish. I mean, a 3 is right down the middle. It's a good finish. It's there. But like you said, it's more of a burn finish and drops off as opposed to like I'm getting like a long, like flavorful finish.
Yep. Price though. Here's the thing. I really do love this whiskey. I really, really enjoy it. I think it's fantastic. It is crushable. But I don't want to drink something that's $250
You don't
and
want to
go
crush a $250
exactly
$50 bottle.
Exactly. I'm not saying that it doesn't warrant that price tag, but I do think that it needs a little bit of an adjustment. Also, $250 is so much money to spend on a bottle of whiskey. I'm going to give it a 3. And that's me being very generous. I mean, exceptionally generous to a $250 price point.
I went 2.5. I was right around. I'm pretty much the same. I just think of like the things that I've actually paid close to that, and I think of like a Kentucky Owl or something like that, and it's like
4 Roses 20 year.
4 Roses 20 year. And those
I still can't believe we have that.
Right.
That we've tasted it on the podcast. Like
it's ours.
I know, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, but it's like this is going to sound really weird, but it's like I don't want a crushable pour with how good it is to cost that much.
I agree. I totally agree.
Because I feel like that price tag warrants a pour that's like, okay, I instantly want to like slow down and enjoy this, and I don't want to crush it.
It's like something that you go, I have worked for this.
Yes.
Right? Like, I deserve this.
Right.
And it's not to say that you could have this and go, I don't deserve this.
No, this is, but we're going on the beach and we getting rowdy.
Yeah.
And give me that 16-year-old rye right there. Like, we're going to party. This is the most expensive party drink ever. So.
I love this. I just hands down.
It's the party starter, man.
I love it so much. It's currently, I mean, of everything that we've had this year, and we're only 2 months in, probably my number one.
It'd be hard to like just do a side by side and that not just be like over top of everything, just based on how unique and how good it is.
My final score was a 16.5 out of 20.
I think I had a 13.5. Yeah. So, if that was cheaper, that'd be dangerous.
If it was 150, I could easily justify thinking more about picking one up.
Well, yeah, because I mean that's almost like if you bought 2 bottles, that's almost the price of one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'd take that to the beach and I'd just crush it, man. Like it's crazy.
I completely agree, and I want this to just be more affordable.
Yeah, that's all it needs.
That's all it needs. It's just $100 less. But I mean, if money fell into my lap and I just had a spare $250, I would 100% pick this up. 100% pick this up. It's so dangerous. It's so dangerous. It
dangerous.
Shouldn't be this easy to drink.
Shouldn't be allowed, man.
It should be illegal.
Should be illegal to have a 16-year-old awesome fruity punch drink, and it'd be $250 with coconut and remnants of the beach.
Did I mention the fruit punch?
Did I mention it tastes like a fruity drink?
We need to
I'd put a little umbrella in this Glencairn just to drink it.
I love that so much. I wish we had an umbrella here so that we could do that for the Instagram picture.
That would be awesome.
That'd be spectacular. We need to put this up against
We ain't got much to put it up.
Well, I know, but
Look at that. It's almost gone.
But I was gonna say put it up against the Nulu Perry's Punch.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah.
It'd be completely different, but at the same time, very. It's only 10-point proof off. It's 120, right?
What was that sentence?
That 10, but I couldn't get it out. I don't know what I was saying.
Yeah, it is only 10.
10 proof points off.
Yeah, exactly. All right. That was a lot of stuff we did there in about an hour's time.
That's how we go. That's how we do.
Amen. Tips and bits?
Tips and bits.
I'm excited about this week's tips and bits because I jumped on a hype train way late, but I'll get to it. What's yours?
Well, I feel like there's one that we both could recommend, so I didn't know if you were going to do it or not.
Is it the new episode of Hot Ones with
Yes.
Dave Grohl?
Yes.
Dude, I almost...
It's so good.
Here's the thing. I never thought that I would watch an episode of Hot Ones and cry. But I
Dude.
came so... At the end, when Sean got choked up...
Yeah.
I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. But look...
They're taking shots. It's so good.
And it proved to me that there is a way that we can incorporate Sean Evans into an episode or a live stream or whatever of the podcast.
Yeah.
Where we are eating hot wings and drinking whiskey.
Listen, Dave Grohl is just a magical man.
So cool.
So
He
cool.
was so cool, dude. It was so awesome. And I already had respect for him, but it just blew up after watching that episode. But that's so Hot Ones is kind of my recommendation in general this week because I have spent the last couple of weeks just binging Hot Ones, just watching episode after episode. And up until yesterday, I think my favorite episode was the one with Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
Which is it's so gentle and sweet.
Right.
And just that moment where Paul looks at him and goes, "Hey, look at us."
Yeah.
It's just so wholesome. And I love it so much. But this one with Dave Grohl, oh my gosh. And he's a fan of the show too.
Yeah. He's like bucket list. He's
Yeah.
like, this is my bucket list right now.
I could go on about it.
Yeah,
but
and you him just being so cool. It is you're just amazed. You're he's the man. You're just listening to him talk, the jokes he's saying, his mannerisms and stuff. And
he is his own biggest critic too. I mean, he is so self-aware of what. I mean, he was my drumming technique is I'm basically just hitting stuff.
Yeah.
I don't have any refinement to what I do. But it was amazing. I love that episode. I genuinely like want to go back and watch it again.
Yeah,
which there have been very few of those shows that I have felt like that. But just it's like an instant classic. I feel like for Hot Ones.
So good.
But the doing shots thing.
Yeah. Oh, let's take another shot.
Let's
do a shot. He starts out with cocktails. He's like, we're going to have a little cocktail, you know? I want to add my spin on this. Then right in the middle of it, he's like, let's do another shot.
Let's do shots.
Let's do shots. Where's the whiskey at? Let's do some shots.
And Sean is so all in on it too, dude.
By the end, and you can tell, like, Sean is just like, he's feeling it too. Like,
Oh,
he's
he
getting
was-
emotional. Like, he's like, they're throwing F-bombs down. I won't make you edit, but we're like, it's so good.
I love it, man. I love that show so much. And it always makes me crave hot wings.
Yeah.
Always. I cannot watch it without going, I just want some buffalo wings right now.
Oh my gosh. Did you watch the Thundercat episode? Thundercat.
Not yet,
Yeah.
no.
He eats them like the wings in like one bite. He like,
oh, dude, I saw it. Like they showed a clip of it during Dave's episode. And he just completely oh my gosh. Like there's no way there isn't some like gnarly piece of bone that's in there too that he's just munching down on. Daggone. That is, I mean, it is kind of like at this point a bucket list to be on that show, or at least
fun.
just to have Sean be a part of something that we do with the podcast.
Would be awesome.
If anybody listening has any kind of connection that could potentially get us in contact with Sean Evans from Hot Ones, please, 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 please. Please let us know. I want to do the Hot Ones bag of boneless chicken wings that you can get.
We're going to do that.
We are 100. I mean, it's actually got the last dab in it.
Yeah.
It's like a 3 million Scoville.
I'll poop all over the place.
I will mention my least favorite one, though. And I wasn't expecting it to be my least favorite because I think this guy's ridiculous and fun to watch. I hated the Jeff Goldblum episode.
I don't think I've watched that one.
It's not good. He is so... You can tell that Sean, like, doesn't fully know how to handle him.
Yeah.
And he's being... there's almost like a level of disrespect that it feels like he has for the whole thing. And it's just... It just doesn't... I don't know. It makes me feel less about Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway. You got anything else?
So I watched a bad movie and I watched a good movie.
Okay.
The bad. New Texas Chainsaw Massacre on Netflix. Is a fucking mistake.
Okay. I want to say something before we move on. I'm not editing your swear words out anymore.
What?
I'm not. It's not anything you did. It's just I feel like I set a precedent with you when you came on the show where I was like, look, I'm going to allow you like 3.
Okay.
But I have to edit them out. I'm not going to edit them out.
Is there like a number that we got to stick to?
No, but just, I mean, like,
I'm not like throwing them down all the time.
Yeah, you weren't Dave Grohl on Hot Ones.
Oh, yeah. For real.
But, I mean, it's not like it's a consistently just expletive-laden podcast. So,
But when I get really, like, passionate about something, like, I can't.
I don't care. Look, if somebody gets offended by it or upset by it, sorry. It's a whiskey podcast. You shouldn't be listening to it around your kids. This is America, dadgummit, with freedom of speech.
Okay. Whew. I feel like I don't know what to say now.
Weight lifted off your shoulder.
Barry just gave me like a birthday present. No. I'm not going to go crazy with it. But anyway, the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre on Netflix. Like I said before, it's a mistake. It's bad, man. Like, as somebody who loves horror movies and loves the original, I didn't go into this expecting much, but I expected a little better than this.
Yeah.
This is just bonkers bad. It takes place 50 years later from the original, so it's not like part 20 or whatever, like moving on. It takes place in this town, and spoiler warning, the victims, they literally buy a whole town because they're like hipster chefs, and they've bought a whole town to like try to like bring people in. They want to see like a retro town and stuff. And there's one building that they can't find the deed for, and it's the orphanage. And his mama is still there. Old Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, no.
And something happens to mama, And he wears Mama's face, and he goes after all these people. It's bad. There's a good scene if you like gore, and it involves a bus. It's bad. It's real bad. Hate watch this movie. It's not good at all. It's horrible. One of the survivor girls, one of them, she's like the smallest little girl you've ever seen, and she literally takes the chainsaw and does an uppercut with it and knocks Leatherface like into the air. It's ridiculous. There's one scene that's like a Mortal Kombat, like they sledgehammered him down through the floor, and it's just bad. I can't.
Incredible.
I mean, you listen to me talk about it, it sounds ridiculous because it is. The good, Jackass Forever. Oh my goodness, it's so good. And like, yes, there's lots of dicks in it. But you can kind of see it's got the majority of the original cast, not Bam Margera. There's a lot of drama with that. But Johnny and Pontius and Steve-O, they're all there. But you can tell they're older guys now.
Yeah.
So it's not all about like these really like perverted, like crazy stuff going on. There's no like sexual things and stuff like that. It's just them having a good time.
Yeah.
They're back together. They're doing these stunts that they shouldn't be doing. And it's just fun. Like, I took my two little boys to it.
I can't believe you did that.
10 and 8. I did.
I can't believe you did that. It's the most... There is a lot of messed up stuff that happens in that movie. That is the most messed up thing about that movie is that you took your two...
other than the wieners and stuff, it's not that bad. Okay?
I'm kidding.
No, like, it's just... I feel like that's kind of like... Everybody can enjoy it, but it's like... It's me and the boys. Like, we're having, mom's not there, sister's not there. We're going to have, like, just crazy time with Jackass. And it's just fun. Like, you can tell, like, a lot of these guys are just, like I said, older. They're just having fun. They don't care about all the other stuff. They're just partying and having a good time together and doing their thing. And they've got a small group of, like, the newer generation Jackass people who maybe they'll, like, kind of take the crown and run with it or something like that. Yeah. They're doing their stuff. So it's just a mix of new and old. And I just laughed the whole time. And it was just fun to just sit there and just laugh at something that I remember laughing at when I was like, 12, 13 years old. So if you like Jackass stuff, I highly recommend Jackass Forever.
I want to see it. I really want to see it.
I want to talk about the stuff so much and I just can't. It's
the only part I've seen is Johnny Knoxville getting slammed by a bull.
Oh my gosh, I thought he was.
And
dead.
that was just because it was on Kimmel or something.
Maybe it was. He redoes that famous stunt. Like he did that in like one of the older ones.
Yeah,
he redoes it again, but he's like, however, 10, 15 years older now. And he should. It's probably a worse hit or a worse bump than it was in that original one when he was younger. The opening is a kaiju. It looks like a Godzilla thing.
Oh my gosh!
But it's. I can't explain it. I can't say it without. I don't want to ruin anything. It's just so good, so good.
Well, I have been playing, and I'm not to the point where I can give like I would say a full review of it. But I have been playing Pokemon Legends Arceus so much recently. And it is the best Pokemon game I think that has ever come out. I love it so much. It's so much fun. But I've spent a lot of time going, all right, let's just get through. Like, come on, like just move it along. And like, for anybody who doesn't know, it's Pokemon set in basically like, I think 100 years before the first one or something like that, where Pokemon aren't like friendly and they are not accepted as companions and everything. And so there's a team of people who are trying to learn more about them, and you fall through time and you become a member of the Survey Corps, and you're basically tasked with going out and studying Pokemon, capturing as many as you can, and just learning about them to create the first Pokedex. And what's crazy about the first Pokedex is that it's not digital. It's all like written out like in a book and everything. It's really, really cool. So I was kind of under the impression, and this is no fault of anybody else other than myself, that it was going to be a lot less story driven, and that it was just going to be more like, I'm going to go out, I'm going to learn about these, I'm going to capture a bunch of Pokemon, I'm going to see them battle, all this stuff. And there is so much text and so much dialogue and story building that you have to get through. And it's tough.
Yeah.
Like at times, Emily, like there are times where like I'll be so tired of reading text that I will just take a break from the game.
Yeah.
I'll take a break for like a couple hours and I'll come back and I'll feel, more refreshed and ready to go at it and everything. But it's still the best Pokemon game. Aside from maybe like the originals Crystal has been my favorite for a long time. But this one is so unique. One of the best things about it is you don't have to battle wild Pokemon to catch them. You can just catch them by like hiding in the grass and like making sure that they're distracted or whatever. There's no gym leaders because they haven't established like that kind of relationship with Pokemon yet. But there are these like, they're not alpha Pokemon, which is part of the game, but they're called like, shoot. I can't remember what they're called. They're basically like in charge of regions and everything. And like, that's kind of how you progress, but there's no badge system or anything. It looks really good. There's some issues with the like background loading and everything. And like, you can see that images don't load exactly as they should from time to time. Like you can see one of the worst things is you'll see like a flying Pokemon in the background and its wings will go like, and it won't actually like, have like a fluid flying motion. It's just kind of like 1 per second frame where you can see its wings flapping. But I really, really like it, and I'm really looking forward to playing more of it. And once I'm all done with it, then I'll talk about it more. But anyway,
old school Pokemon.
Old school indeed. I think that about does it.
Does it?
Yeah.
Well, if you want to support the show, go to patreon.com/MyBourbonPodcast. And for as little as $1 a month, you can help us out with whatever things we got going on. We got bills to pay. We got stuff to do to keep the show going. And at $5, you get all the extra uncut stuff. We got extra episodes. We got Simply Irresistible, our new show. We're going through samples in Perry's studio. It's really fun. There's Pours from the Floor on there. If you want to go back and listen to those will be coming back later after some Simply Irresistible. Just a lot of fun stuff going on at Patreon. If you want to send us an email with questions, comments, or want to send a sample or a bottle to review, this is mybourbonshop@gmail.com. Also got some merch at bourbonshop.threadless.com. If you want some Whiskey Mutant merch, it's whiskeymutant.myshopify.com. If you want to leave us a barrel rings, which I heard we have one this week.
Oh, yeah, we do have one this week.
It's a voicemail system where you can talk to us, not in real time, but then we'll talk to you on here. We'll play it, and we'll reply to it. 859-428-8253. If you want to do it, follow us on all social media. It's My Bourbon Pod on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We got a Facebook group where you can ask questions for Patreon. A lot of stuff going on in there. This is My Bourbon Podcast Facebook group. You can follow me at Whiskey Mutant on Instagram, TikTok, and you can follow Perry at PRitter1792 on Instagram.
That's true. He's not lying.
It's true. It is true.
It is true.
You can go to YouTube. You can follow the show. This is My Bourbon Podcast. Perry goes live every Thursday at 8 o'clock. I try to join him about once a month, but he's doing reviews, interviews, and all sorts of things over there on YouTube. And do we have a barrel rings?
We do have a barrel ring. Are you ready to hear it?
I think so. Oh, also leave a review. Leave a 5-star review on Apple or Spotify now. That helps us out. And you can leave a bad one. We'll read it out. We'll probably talk to you badly. But either way, leave a review. It helps. And just tell your friends about the show.
Yeah. All right, barrel ring time.
Hey guys, Papa Ritter here.
Oh,
I am on the treadmill. I got a little out of breath, but I just finished not this week's episode, but last week's. As a wrestling fan, I thought it was excellent. As a whiskey fan, I thought it was an excellent episode as well. Hope everybody's doing well. I hope Carrie and Eric will invite me on the show soon. And after that, I'm thinking, you, me, Eric, you, me, and Carrie, we'll go knock it out at Taco Bell, buddy. All the best to everybody. Love and cheers. Talk to you soon. Out.
That was fantastic.
knock it out at Taco Bell
Knocking it out at Taco Bell.
as he's on the treadmill.
Man,
What if we got 3 treadmills and we ordered
we ordered Taco Bell.
Bell?
We drank whiskey.
We drank whiskey.
We recorded
and
a podcast.
on a treadmill. We had to do a 5K on the treadmill while we ate Taco Bell, drank whiskey, and recorded a podcast.
I would die. I would die.
But it's for content. We could film it too. It'd be live stream.
Well, thank you all so much for listening. And next week, I'm not sure what's happening at the moment, but we
Treadmills, whiskey,
Nope.
and Taco
Nope.
Bell.
will. Not that.
Taco Bell.
But that does it for this week, guys. Thank you all so much for listening. Hope you enjoyed that the news is back. We'll see you real soon. Until next time, I'm Perry,
I'm Eric.
and this is My Bourbon Podcast.